I actually heard behind the scenes, I forget who it was, but they pretty much essentially said, like, the Jungle Book, the animals had way too much expression. They were way too human in that one, so we made sure to have as little expression as possible. And,
That's
like, the
dumb.
thing is, like, animals in real life, they can be expressive, but a lot of the time, their expression is more through body movement than anything else.
Yeah, but still, it's just, I don't know.
I mean, I sort of wish they just went halfway and just let the animals emote.
Yeah. I mean, the
Because you can still have the realistic models, just have them, like, actually have a bit of emotion.
yeah, because
Who
animals,
cares if it's like, oh, they're too human? Well, they're fucking walking and talking. That's enough for me.
they're walking and talking like they're a cartoon. Why not have them actually, like, express like a cartoon? It's just freaking dumb. Alright. But
And I
yeah.
just can't wait to be king.
Oh, I just can't wait to be CGI. That didn't round. But yeah. Anyways, let's, like, was there anything else about SDCC of the KKK in this?
San Diego Ku Klux Klan.
Yep, SDKKK. It's talking about, like, what is it? A customer came in, and was it we were talking about stuff, and then eventually we got to, like, talking about the Sonic redesign, and I'm surprised that, like, I don't know, she's not the only person that didn't know that Sonic was getting a redesign, and I felt like that was widespread knowledge.
Well, to be fair, with a lot of these sort of situations, we only hear from the loud minority.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing, it's like, I don't know.
So even like when stuff like this happens, it's just, you know, freaking, we only really hear it from like the really hardcore people.
Mm-hmm.
Because despite everything we think, like, not a lot of people go on the internet.
Right.
Or at least follow the same stuff that we do. So even though, like, the video game audience and the Sonic fan base and whatever may have heard about it and reposted about it, etc., the average Joe Schmo probably hadn't heard about it yet.
I mean, I showed
They probably
her,
haven't even heard about, like, the Sonic movie in general.
I mean, I showed her an image. I'm gonna edit it in afterwards, but where, you know, it was the post that said that. Well, it was the post that had Sonic wearing a glove, looking like he has a fur type texture on his arms, holding a sign saying 2020. And I know it's gonna be out on Valentine's Day of 2020.
Well, the art style for that one looked much more stylized. I don't think it relates to the actual final model. Although I did hear that the Sega approved of the new model that they're working on now.
Which they should have done in the first place. You know?
I don't know, it just seemed really off. And like he had like the human shaped body, so it looked like they just did it for the sake of like mocap and stuff. And like there was like some like moments and shit where I didn't think that the Sonic model looked that bad. But I'm just saying, like, you either go like super cartoony or in the other direction and make him look like an actual hedgehog. Because people love Rocket and he looks like an actual raccoon. So let's make Sonic the Hedgehog look like an actual hedgehog, please.
Someone should just make like I'm pretty sure somebody's already done this, but like there should like be an
Like
actual...
my biggest issue with like the Sonic movie design was just because it's just like his mouth was like really like scrunched in and flat like a human mouth. Like if they gave him more like a maw, it wouldn't look as bad.
Yeah, like rounded.
Well, not like rounded, but like a pointed snout that sort of goes out.
Yeah. Game.
Because he just sort of had like human lips.
Them human lips.
But wow. Who wants to give Movie Sonic a kiss on the lips?
Yeah, I think this is a good place to end it off. How are you thinking of ending off this time, hun?
Well, before we end off, I want to get your opinions about GameStop, since that's having like a lot of changes recently.
Oh, well.
For those who don't know, GameStop is trying to like rebrand itself to like... Well, trying to rebrand itself so it's both being a retro game store and sort of a, like
a retro game store, while also like having like personal, like community-based competitions, like local competitions for like Overwatch or something.
Well, just sort of being like a public game bar or something.
It's not like a game bar. It's more that
Well,
like
I know it's not like an actual bar, but just sort of like a place where you can play games openly.
Just so you know,
trying to support esports.
Before me and Snackvic talk more about this, I only know as much as like these press releases and stuff like that are talking about it. Like what we're talking about right now for like the whole retro game store and stuff like that. Because me and some other employees went up to our manager asking about these changes that are supposedly supposed to happen. And he didn't know anything about it. So I don't have any insider knowledge or anything. We only know as much as you do, really. So, and sometimes I hear stuff about like GameStop like while I'm working through other customers, and I can't even look it up because I'm while working. And I work at a, like, when you think GameStop, you probably think of your local GameStop that is like, oh, those GameStop workers are always on their phone or something, or like are always just like chilling and stuff like that. But I just would like to say that I work at like one of the biggest GameStops in at least America, and it's like right in the dead set of Boston. I'm not going to say which specific one, but because there are some big ones in Boston that are more than just mine.
I guess I'm sort of surprised about the whole them trying to go the retro game route, just because of the fact that if you want to look for retro games, it's either eBay or a smaller mom and pop shop.
Yeah. Either way,
I mean, I think it's a good step forward for game preservation, that's for sure.
In my personal opinion, I feel like this is more like a last-ditch effort. And
I don't know. I always have the assumption whenever these huge companies are saying that they're going down the drain or whatever, is that they're doing it for press reasons. If GameStop closes like right now, people are gonna be all sad and nostalgic, and then they'll be like, oh hey, we're reopening next year. We fired all our staff and left them jobless, but at least you get your store back.
Basically what he means is that's what Toys R Us did.
Yeah.
At least
we left millions without a job, but we're reopening without giving them a compensation. Fuck you, Jeffrey.
At least GameStop's not doing that. They're doing the change while they have their workers. And like,
plus, it is interesting. Do you think that they'll start supporting like esports and stuff, and maybe like throwing out sponsors?
Honestly, I'd rather work
because I've seen like Smash Bros. Competitions that like have Gushers as like a sponsor.
I'd rather work at a GameStop where it's more about the experience and stuff like that. But the thing is that you gotta realize that Most of our money does come from, like, console and phone trades. Regardless of, like, how much people, like, don't really understand that, like, a lot of companies and stuff like that, like, we do take in tablets and phones and stuff like that. I hate that. I legit despise taking phones, tablets, and stuff like that.
Is it because they're stolen?
I mean, it just feels stolen or something. Most, like, 80% of the time it just feels stolen, but we have to take it in because, like, and I even test people. Like, this is how much I hate, like, taking in phones, is that, like, I ask them questions, like, up the yin yang, you know? Like, oh, how long did you use it for? All this other stuff, and, you know, and if they give me a pissy attitude, that's when I stop, but it's just, like, they like sell the tablets and phones to, like, big name companies that, like,
Repurpose them?
and that's where it's getting a lot of their money from. So, like, that's just a huge part of the income by what I hear. I could be wrong, but that's what I've been told. And my GameStop does not have that problem by a long shot.
I won't mind GameStop doing the whole, like, community thing. Like, their whole plans, like, make it sort of an esports center. Just sort of like an open place where you have access to, like, various game consoles and whatever. I say gamer bar, but it's more like, what's that place in Boston? Not Versus, but
Balance Patch.
Balance Patch. That's sort of essentially what they're trying to do.
Yeah, where it's like...
I'm surprised that GameStop hasn't already tried to tap into the esports market in some way, shape, or form already. Because you could easily see them, like, supporting a Smash Bros. Tournament or, like, Marvel vs. Capcom or some shit like that.
I don't watch that stuff, but I do keep on seeing on the GameStop TVs that they are already supporting esports. Like, they are legit sponsors for certain esports people.
It seems like I barely hear about it.
Yeah, like, I know you watch some Smash competitions or something. I don't think they do that. I think they more do, like... I'm not saying Smash isn't mainstream. I'm just saying that,
more like
Call of Duty, Battlefield, and stuff like that, because they have a huge hard-on for those games.
Well, I'm just saying, like, some of the biggest stuff in esports at the moment is, like, MOBAs, like League of Legends, and fighting games like Street Fighter and shit. So I'm surprised I haven't seen their name in, like, EVO or something.
Yeah, I think they're just testing the waters. Well, they've only tested the waters up to this point. But now it seems like, since they're doing last-ditch efforts, in my opinion, it's last-ditch efforts, that they're really gonna try and, like, do something different, where, like, not a lot of places have local competitions, and if they do, it's sort of like friends or colleges that just do it for fun. While if you go to GameStop, I would imagine that, like, there would be, like, a local leaderboard or something that could be posted, like, on one of the GameStop TVs.
I think it would be cool just to have, like, you know, just another, like, public community place just to hang out that isn't, like, you know, just another game store. It's just a bit more. Yeah. And even still, there's, like, barely any game stores anymore, ever since, like, you know, shipping games straight to your house became a thing.
Yeah, like with Amazon Prime, like, who doesn't pay for Amazon Prime? It's basically one of your taxes now. Like, that's what
people who don't want to support greedy industry or whatever.
Yeah, either way, it's just like, I don't know, I feel like that would be good, but does that really bring in the money to like do esports? Like, yeah, it would be cool to like
Well, technically, if you
it.
do a sponsorship, that's sort of advertising. Because if you have, like, people going on stage to do an esports thing, if they have, like, a GameStop logo plastered on their back, that is sort of free advertising. Yes, they have to pay the players to put it on, but still.
Well, here's my main problem with GameStop, and like a lot of people, not naming names or anything, just they don't agree with my mindset on why GameStop is.
Oh man, we were doing really good in that one, but then we got cummed on.
Yeah, damn, the piss was not strong enough. But yeah, just my opinion on why GameStop isn't doing so well isn't because the digital market and all that is going up. It's because, like, just my opinion, that...
Hey, hun, after we record, can we go get some Burger Queen?
Burger Queen?
It's the anime bootleg version of Burger King.
No.
You know, like Walkdonald's.
No. No.
I would like a Big Mook with some fresh fries.
I'd rather not. Either way, Burger Queen is better because their fries are to die for. But yeah, just the my opinion for GameStop is that slow-mo. But yeah, is that when was the last time you seen an advertisement for GameStop anywhere? Can you think of any, hun?
I think it has been a while, but I think the last one I've seen was that really bad one for like one of the shooter games, and he was like, it's a parody of that song, I'm something like a rock star. He's doing all the dumb rhymes.
But we only heard, well, you only heard about that one because of the whole, it was in...
No, it played on actual YouTube ads.
Oh, okay.
So I've seen that one before.
Okay, so...
But yeah, GameStop's going down the trash. Any final thoughts for GameStop?
Well, the thing is like, what would get me into GameStop is that I would see the advertisements on Cartoon Network, Disney, or Nickelodeon. And I would think like, oh man, I should go to their website and see what's available at my local GameStop through the interweebs, because my dad loves computers, and he still does. Because he's an electrical technician from Olympus. That like, damn, there's like a buy two get one free deal or something all this week. I should go. And they keep on advertising the pro membership and all this other stuff, or get the Game Informer magazine, because the magazine was all we had back in the day, because social media was terrible back then and didn't tell you anything except for rumors that and like people trying to fake rumors to be facts. So Game Informer was sort of like that plug, you know?
Yeah.
And you would sort of know everything before, like, casuals did. But now it's just like, there's no ads. Game Informer's extinct, in my opinion. And now it's just like, what they can do is, like, my opinion for the whole advertising thing, because it's whatever. But yeah, my opinion for the whole advertising thing is, why don't you do something like Hot Topic is doing, where, like, honestly, I keep on forgetting Hot Topic exists, but then I go on Facebook and it says, hey, we know your search history on our website from before. So, hey, there's this Lilo and Stitch fanny pack. You want that, right? And I'm just like, you know me too well. So I click on it because it's like a Facebook ad custom tailored to you. And it's not just Hot Topic doing that. It's fake ass Chinese stores that are getting away with people's fan art also doing this. And yes, I'm guilty of buying stuff from them too. Those fake ass Chinese places. Why can't GameStop do something like that? Like,
didn't Pokemon have like a big debacle because of like Chinese competition to make like shirt art?
yeah, they had some huge debacle, but regardless, it's just like, that's what gets me at least to keep on remembering why Hot Topic is still a thing, or why these Chinese places are a thing. GameStop, if I didn't work there, I honestly would have pretty much stopped going, because my life's been getting too busy and I only go to because of GameStop. You know?
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's just my opinion on
Your opinion on GameStop?
My opinion on GameStop. They're trying too hard when the answer's right in their face. And just, like, at least for that, like, they can at least try that. It doesn't cost that much money.
Yeah.
But instead they, like, make their workers freaking salesmen. And, like, just put it all on the workers to do it all. You know? Like,
yeah.
Yes, they're pretty much rebranding with this retro stuff and all that, and they are always doing research and development and all this other stuff, but, like, advertising is a big factor.
Yeah.
You know?
So, real quick, did you have any final thoughts for the Final Fest?
I think it's definitely a bigger hit than the last Splatfest.
Oh, the first last Splatfest, Callie versus me. That one was actually really big. The results of that affected the story in Splatoon 2.
Yeah, well,
so I assume like the end off of the Splatfest is gonna affect Splatoon 3. But you know, it's been fun. I definitely in this game I tried to get Queen in nearly every Splatfest. I did miss a few, but you know, I really like online games that sort of have these little online events. And like, since this is the last Splatfest for Splatoon 2, it'll be missed. I'll miss like seeing what's the, you know, what are the teams each month and all that. I'm sure it's gonna come back in like a future Splatoon game.
But, or yeah, maybe there'll be like a big expansion that like revitalizes it.
I doubt it. I think they're gonna save it for a sequel. And we already had an expansion with the Octo expansion.
That's true. I don't know. I would pay for another DLC, but I do see that, like, why not just make it a whole new game?
Yeah. I mean, go out while you still can. I mean, like, this game lasted for a while. Well, and, like, we're still able to play it afterwards.
We'll never know if the Switch Pro becomes a thing. And plus, it sounds like they don't have any plans for, like, the next new console yet. So it's like, we need our Splatoon Splatfest fix. I mean, so, yeah, just that's our opinions.
For all you people out there playing Splatoon now or whatever, happy splatting. Go Team Chaos and Go Team Order as well. I don't really care. Both teams are pretty good, and they're both supported by the best girls. And hot take, I think Pearl and Rain are better than Callie and Marie. So yeah, all you guys have a good night and all that shiz.
And put down in the comments if you're Team Piss or Team Cum.
This has been the Finals Fest for Splatoon 2, and we'll see you guys later.
Final Splatfest for Splatoon 2, baby!